What's up? I'm live. um, how are you guys? Hold on 1 second. I am gonna, in case if I get to these other ones, I'm gonna hurry up with my watermark because I always forget. I'm not planning on going over this specifically, but I'm gonna get ready because if I do, I always forget. I've been forgetting my watermark on a lot of these. And I don't even catch it. Like I'll read a comment. Don't even catch that I forgot. Oh, my mic's over here. Don't even catch that I forgot it until I read a comment. They'll be like, watermark. I'm like, oh shoot. I would have had no idea. Anyway, okay. So I did some research and I'm just gonna let you guys decide what you think. I know somebody's been going around calling me a liar. Um I tried to be freaking fair. I tried to look into it. Everything points to this being the person. Um, and then somebody brought it to my attention to check out my old interview with her. And there's a few things that are said in there that are actually confirm that the latest messages, not the first batch, but the second batch, some of the stuff that is said in the interview, that for one specific thing, really sticks out. Exactly one of the messages that I read the other night about the bleeding from the holes. So I want to know what you guys want to do. I'm planning on playing parts of this interview. This is my old interview with her. I don't know if it's better to play it first or second. If you want me to read the messages first and then play it and confirm everything, or do you want me to play it first and then vice versa? But what I'm going to do is I went and got, this took me a while because I had to like match up. Remember how they weren't matched up with, they had like the to Wades and from Wade. So I had to do that. Plus I went back and got all of her old messages from June 30th to July 1st. So I have them all together now. So we have all of Sarah's messages between Wade and Sarah. That's what we're going to read today. There's 51 pages, and then that's all. That's all that there is of them too. I went through all 900 pages and got all of just the Sarah ones just so I could do this video. But I do think, you know what? Let me play. I might not play her whole interview, but I do think it's important to play a part of the interview right now. I do want to end up playing all of it. It's only like, I mean, it might be like a half hour, but I know people are probably going to be anxious to get into these messages. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to play at least one part of it because I do want you to hear the very specific message that she says that Wade wrote. Now, what she does leave out is the message that she wrote to him. First about blood. But do you guys remember? Okay, and we're going to go over it when we get to it. Do you remember the last live? Do you remember the message where it said, Wade said, Wade said, I'm going to make you bleed out all of your holes. Do you remember that to Sarah? And I was like, wait a minute. And I went back to see, and I realized that Sarah had wrote about blood first. And I kind of was like, whoa, Sarah wrote it first, but Wade said, I'm going to make you bleed out all your holes. Do you remember that, right? Just remember that. Because that was the new messages that she said wasn't her. Now listen to this real quick. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. I got a timestamp on just that part, but we can watch it all eventually if you want. Okay. I think this in itself confirms it, but not only that, she confirms about her old marriage, which she talks about. She confirms about the Cash App. There's an issue with the Cash App, which she can't remember these issues with the Cash App here. She talks about where she's from, which that's where she's from, about conjugal visits, like all this little things she hits on are in these messages. The purse, purse or whatever, but I think this part just in itself would be enough to convince me that these are really who it is. I'll let you guys decide because it matches up. It's the same person unless if somebody hacked her account and the first batch was her and the second batch somebody hacked her account. It's the same handle. They have this name, which I'll show you what she goes by because somebody talks about her in this. So I'm going to show you. Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, I'm trying to get the timestamp. I'm like, what am I looking on my phone for? I'm going to try to look at the timestamp. Hold on. And I don't mean to be a jerk, but I just heard she was going around calling me a liar. It's like, Just own it. Own it. I mean, it is what it is. You came out and you're the like it's like you're the one that put yourself out there. Like I'm not trying to be a jerk. We're just reading messages, but like when you're going around saying I'm spreading false news, I'm still going to let people decide what they think. But I mean, it does match the same person. It really does. Okay, hold on. So I'm on 429:44. Okay. I'll show you just that part real quick and then like I said we could even watch more if you want, but this is really important to listen.
Week. And like I said, it was real nonchalant. Like that's probably why I, even if every phone call from everybody was available, they would not be interested in what anything we talked about, except for probably that last conversation, because it definitely is pretty damn close. He wasn't talking about poop on his dick either. That was weird. But the other sadistic, real like bleeding from my holes and stuff. That was just really weird.
And how did you respond? I didn't get those response. You got to try to send them again. I was wondering because you said something about I haven't sent these to anybody. I'm like, I'm not getting anything between you and Wade, huh?
Yeah, I included the one from the very top one is the one about the pussy purse, which is I thought that was weird. That was, I believe, the same day that we disconnected. And then it goes back to me saying that, I'm in Kansas City and you're in Florida and I'm in the middle of a sticky divorce. And he goes into, it doesn't matter where I am. And, he's going to put me on his visitation log. And I'm just thinking like,
he says all of that stuff, if you remember, about the visitation, about he doesn't care where he's from. It's almost like every single thing is matching up with those messages. And this is out of her mouth right now. Now, I even like redacted locations, but let me just tell you, it matches.
Conjugal visits are in 8 states, and I have no time to deal with this. This was something that was like, oh, I wonder if I can connect with him, thinking already in my head that I'm not. And then it happened, and it was just kind of like, he had asked me after he accepted, what do I like from him? He said from him, and what's my number, and he'll call me tomorrow. And it was like,
all he did,
okay.
All he said, the funny thing is all he said to her is the big thing he said is what's your number, and then he didn't. So I think he just called her, and she's the one like texting him back or whatever. But he did. He's like, "What's your number?" And she gives it to him. And here's the thing: the first messages, she gives him 2 phone numbers. She gives him her whole name, where she's from. I mean, I redact all that, but I saw it. So I see that it's the same account. These messages are coming from the same account. So either somebody hacked into her account later, you know what I'm saying? But now we know that's not, because the bleeding from their holes, that was the messages that we just went over the other day that she said wasn't her.
And I mean, all the messages I sent back to him, I mean, you can see it was just like, I just wanted to know what his story was. And he kind of briefly touched on it about how he was accused of, being framed for murders and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, but I mean, he had told me also Diane's body was all intact and stuff like that. Like he had told me that stuff. And then I looked at the autopsy pictures. Then this is when I changed my mind on what.
Since we're watching them anyway, let me go back to the beginning where she starts talking about at least the Cash App stuff, and then we'll read the messages, because then you'll see that, of course, she left out her stuff. She was she left out the stuff she would be embarrassed about, like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, she said some of the stuff he said, and that matches up. And then hold on. So this is about when I first start asking her questions, is about right here.
I had seen the what do I want to call it? Like the prison call thing. About like, sorry, my car's open. And there were these girls that were telling me how they were going to pay for my personal phone calls, and like get a hold of them. And they were like creating this like account to get a bunch of donations for my phone calls. And there's a girl that's on TikTok, and I know her personally, but she goes by Charlie something. She posts. She has the same kind of like viewpoint of him as I do. We were real open to seeing everything how it was, and gave the opportunity to, investigate if there was this trafficking thing, which I think he's pretty out of his mind. He's not all there. That I think a lot of it was fabricated. I think he just enjoyed killing people. I know he definitely got off to doing what he said to that Emma girl, or Anna. And the entrails thing that he told me that he wanted to hang me by my entrails. I knew that those calls were him. He sounded with me how he did in the 2019 calls. It was almost unrecognizable that I thought the calls were fake.
Though I cannot wait for those calls now. Do you think phone calls for prison, they have to be coming out, right? Her phone calls? I don't know. Like, wouldn't it be in July? So she's been doing like August phone calls. Then she went back to what, April or something, 2023. As phone calls from prison done July ones? Because it would be in July, I would think. That's got to be, I guarantee that. I mean, that's got to be coming out soon, right?
When I had first listened to those Patreon calls. And my friend that I was referencing, she goes by Charlie. It's Blake, but that's just her like Wade and murder mystery type of TikTok account. She had shown me how you had my messages on one of your YouTube videos, and it was the one about the pussy purse, and everyone references it being like drugs, and it's like, no, it's actually about cigarettes, because I sometimes smoke cigarettes, but normally I just vape. So
okay. So
yeah.
But why were they so interested in getting your calls specifically? I'm confused. What?
I'm not sure if you got the screenshots of the messages, like between the thread that I sent you of him and I. Like, those are my responses, and everybody wanted my responses.
I never got them. This was a few months ago. This is a while ago. Let me see what the date to be exact. 6 months ago. 6 months ago, this was September 15, 2024. She had sent me, she said she sent me it. It looked like she was trying to send me something. Nothing came through. So I even told her on here, no, you didn't send them. Send them to me. I'd email her after this, like, I want to see your responses, because she sent them like she spent on the title, you're the only one that has these. Here's my responses. But there was nothing. It was all like the other people. There was nothing from her. It was none of hers. So I thought it was a mistake. And I'm like, no, it must have glitched out. Like, send them to me again. I didn't get those ones. I got these ones. So like the next day she tried to send me something again, and it wasn't those again. So now it makes sense. I think she wanted me to think she was trying to send them, like she had nothing to hide, but she never sent them. I don't know. I never got them. Because this was before I was ordering the messages. Now, I'm ordering the files, but this was before, and I never got them. So I don't know. I didn't get those. No.
Oh, I sent you, my entire thread of his and my conversation, like me and him. And what? People were obsessive about getting what I sent him. I never have. I mean, my friend has seen them. I've never sent them to anybody. I've never posted them on my TikTok.
Thank you,
and the reason for that was the girl that I was going on live with, and it's not Hannah, it's the Emma girl. And this is a different Emma. This Emma, she has a British accent. She Definitely. And that's the one about where Melissa's not going to go live with her. Um, she used people for their content to boost her like TikTok fame. Like she at one point had, I think it was 15,000 followers, and you had to pay to subscribe and like watch her lives, and people were paying her. And I mean, I got some of it, which that's not why I went live. I went live because it was like these girls are sitting here asking me how to connect with him. And it's like, I'm nice enough to tell them how to do it. But at the same time, it's like these girls have no idea that there were so many other girls, and every girl thought that they were special in their own way. And it was just like, he was a copy and paste motherfucker, to be honest. Sorry. Like he
Oh.
literally, I think, just had a Word document where he had, I mean, the Build-A-Bear thing has been said multiple times. That's nothing special. I mean, that's steady on repeat. But he the stuff he said to Hannah and Bread Loaf, those were more like heartfelt. He was never like that with me, but I also was kind of just blunt with him, kind of how I am now. And he had told me things about the outside, and I was aware of people controlling everything on the outside from the very beginning, our very first phone call. And that circles back to his Cash App and PayPal account. And his Cash App, I told him that, you don't have access to that. Like, I mean, I
Remember.
know that people are going to control that. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And he had sent me, like, someone had sent me a $300 Cash App request. And I got it. And I was like, why did I get this? And
Remember these details, because these details are in the new messages that I read last live about the $300 and her question in the Cash App, like who's in charge. Remember the whole Cash App thing and the $300 request? So not only does that match up with the new ones that I read last live, but so does the bleeding from the holes, which I've never seen him say that to anybody else. You're telling me somebody hacked your account and he happened to say it to this person that hacked your account, but he also said it to you. But where do we see him say it to you? Because it's only the time where you said it wasn't you, right? So the bleeding from the holes, but then you'll see I put him in order. She actually talks about the blood first. I mean, right there, I think only one of those could confirm it. But I mean, it just everything lines up. It just makes me mad because she's calling me a liar. She knows that I do my what's the word for it? I make sure like I don't say something, and if I have had to correct myself, yeah, but I take what I put out there really serious. So for her to go out and call me a liar when she knows I'm not, I don't know. It just that upsets me because I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
and he's like, well, I need that for, my canteen money. And I'm like, I'm not giving you any money. And he's like, oh, come on. And I tried sending him $5 just because, he did make me feel bad. He's like, oh, I'm so hungry. Da, da, da. I'm like, fuck it. But Cash App immediately kicked it out and said that no, there's been multiple people or multiple users have reported this account as as a scam or fraud. They didn't even give me the option to do it anyway. Like it just said fuck no, like no.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I had brought up, you sending me a $5 request instead of 300, maybe it would be, less scammy looking. And lo and behold, while we're on the phone, within minutes, $5 request came through. So somebody actively, as he was, I don't know if he was messaging.
And it was Jessie. We saw when she was at least even messaging, remember? Jessie, which I concluded a part of it because when I was going through trying to pick out messages, I didn't realize till after. I wish I would include all the ones Jessie was talking about her because it was like right after they would talk. So it was Jessie. Jesse's looking at it, is in charge of his Cash App. Jessie would hurry up and message him. We saw that where she's like, remember, she'd be like, Sarah doesn't really have the money in it, or Sarah's thirsty. She just added Cash App. So Jessie was telling Wade, and then Wade was probably telling her on the phone. We haven't heard the calls yet, but that lines up that we saw that Jessie was communicating with Wade about her in the Cash App. Do you guys remember that? Which we're gonna go through it all, but It's like everything.
Messaging as he was on the phone with me, but he told whoever it was to send that $5 because it was the exact amount that I had said. I was like, well, why don't you send me just like and it won't look scammy. And lo and behold, within like a couple minutes, $5, and it was requested. But I don't know who controls it.
I wonder who it is.
I know that he said that these people look out for his best interests that aren't his family, but he never named names. And he was aware that I had spoke with Marion, um, because that girl, Southern girl, and Kristen, that is the girl that started the Marion thing, the entire thing. She was so adamant about the whole, not getting the death penalty shit, that she had contacted this advocacy group. And I still have the email. I'll have to search for it. But she had the advocacy group like contact the court, which is how Marion got into all of this. But it was because of that Kristen girl, not Kiosk Kristen. I've never talked to her. I mean, that girl's, I mean, I have troubles with the Kelly thing. I mean, I can imagine she was a victim, but I feel like, I have been a victim of domestic violence myself. And I know that that looks really hypocritical with the Wade thing. But like I said, when I saw him, it was the Amber girl on TikTok, and she is posting about, it's way down we go. And he's coming into the courtroom, and she's just posting about how she wants to do an interview. And, how all this evidence, there's no Diane Ruiz's DNA under the car. He can't drive a stick. So the Hellcat, how did he get Milo's Hellcat? I know how to drive a stick, and I know you can't learn how to do that in one day or even 5 minutes. So there were things that social media portrayed as being just vilely, just not something that should be forgotten, like that should be brought up, as far as a benefit for him if he's not guilty. So there was no news coverage in Kansas City about him. Nothing.
Wow.
I mean, I did not see him on the news. I did not see him on television. It was literally a For You page. And the only reason I knew how to contact him is because she's got her smart inmate email from him, and it's got his name, the inmate number, and it was that easy to find it. And it was like, why not? And, I had sent a request, and that was it. And within a day he had accepted it. But it's crazy. He accepted it because of whenever it must have fallen into the request box, because there were thousands of requests. That Kristen girl had blindly sent him $50, and he never accepted her request. And I fully believe that the whole Marion presence is because of her, because she was so active in his entire trial. And I have no idea why her obsession started. I don't know where she lives. I blocked her. Like, I couldn't deal with it. Like, my personal life, my phone was going off like crazy. It was constantly dying. I mean, I blocked them all, like within, I think it was like 2 days. That group chat, Facebook, and TikTok. It was all those messages, and there were more, but all those messages came within 2 days. And I had never met these people, like, in person.
Does Kristen still support him then? Do you think she's still probably?
I would assume so. I mean, she was very naive. I remember her being very naive. She seems like she's a good, like, soul type of person, in a way that she really just wants to see the best in people. She thinks everybody's born like, a pure soul and all that, that's fine. But it's like, just like you have baby soft skin when you're born, but then eventually it calluses. That's kind of how she should have been, was a little bit.
Yeah. So now what about Jesse or Marie? What was your interaction with her? You said something about the messages, or Marion, or
Marion is in those group messages that, I don't know why she calls herself Marilyn in those, but as Kristen says in all of her messages to me that are on TikTok and Facebook, and she introduces her as Marion. Marion told me her name was Marilyn. However, I got that email that Marion sent me, and she's telling me her name is Marilyn, and it's signed Marion Worth at the bottom. And I'm like, why is this lady calling me, or telling me to call her Marilyn, or introducing herself as Marilyn? Which to me, it kind of gives Marie vibes. Like, I don't know if those two people are somehow related. I don't know if they live in nearby towns. I have no idea about that. I don't know the specifics about them. I believe the Marion woman does live in Florida, though, from what I can remember, because it does give her address underneath of her name and like what her position is and her job title. But the advocacy group was like her and one other person.
So you never talked to Jesse or Maria then?
The Marie girl. There was another person that worked at this advocacy group that did join in on some of these conversations, and I'd have to find them, but they were all via email, like CC'd. I was always CC'd in these emails, and I never signed any petitions. I've never donated. I've never given money. I offered $5, I think, with my jail calls and the service fee and the GTL calls. I maybe spent $20 total. Well, maybe 25 because of the service fees, because you can only spend a minimum of 5, and it was a $3 fee for Smart Inmates. It was really $8, and I still have $1 left on there. I can't transfer it to somebody. So I'm like, oh, if somebody wants to still talk to him, or he's not there anymore, but you want $1. But GTL did refund me all my money.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So wait, how long did you talk to him for? Like,
it was when the last date was back to back. That was the real yucky conversations. But it was once a day for about a week, and like I said, it was real nonchalant. Like, that's probably why even if every phone call from everybody was available, they would not be interested in anything we talked about, except for probably that last conversation, because it definitely is pretty damn close. He wasn't talking about poop on his dick either. That was weird. But the other sadistic, real, like,
other thing she underplayed, it seems like, because she said once a day for a week. I mean, you could see it's more than once a day, but I don't know, maybe it's like one sitting a day she's talking about. I don't know. But I mean, you'll see there's 51 pages of messages, and I think it spans from June 30th to July 5th or 6th or something. So it was about a week, but I feel like it's more than once a day. But anyway, all right. So that's about all. I just wanted you to hear some of that. The biggest thing is when I heard the bleeding from the hole comment, I was like, whoa, dude, that's exactly what he said. That just sealed the deal for me. But I mean, the thing is if it wasn't her, that would mean somebody hacked into her account. So it was like, it's almost impossible to believe that somebody did that anyway. That'd be silly. All right. So let's read the messages, which is fine. Like, I wasn't even going to hassle her. I just wanted to read the messages. I have nothing against. If you want to contact a freaking, a murderer, do what you want. It's none of my business. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, she doesn't talk to him anymore. I wasn't even trying to really judge. I was just trying to read the messages. But like, I don't know why she has to go around and call me a liar. I do my research. Okay, so let's read them, guys. You ready? Like I said, I'm going to start from now at the beginning. We're going to read them all together. Now, you haven't heard the last parts of them because we only got up to, there was quite a few after that we hadn't got to the last live. So there's going to be some new ones, but I'm going to start from the beginning. All right, hold on one second. All right. Let me take out my headphones. Okay. Oh, dude, I wanted to talk to you, the collector. Did you see that she attacked she tried to attack her lawyer again? I might do a video of that this week or tonight or sometime. I want to talk about that, but I really was anxious to do the Sarah one. Taylor. Oh my Lord, I wanted to see what the heck you knew about that. We'll talk later. But yeah, all right. She's in the news again. Okay, so all right, so we're going to start with June 30th, 2024. This is when she, first introduces herself. I'll make it one more bigger. Actually, 250 is where, look at that. Look, sometimes it goes out where the page numbers don't go in and stuff. I hate that. Adobe freaking glitches out so bad. So now I can't even put in 250. Stupid. There we go. Oh, it won't even let me go up. Okay, sorry. I like to make it so you guys could see. That might be good. There we go. Okay. I gotta make it. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So she says, WW Wade Wilson. I'm Sarah. Hold on, I forgot to check one more thing. Okay. I'm Sarah. I live in, and I redacted all this, so I saw what that all said. Anyway, blank is my middle name, but my iPhone will autofill and change back the name to how I have it on my settings profile. Anyway, thank you for accepting my connection request. I am sure there are so many others. The rabbit hole I went down in order to get the request sent was intense. I was so excited when I finally found out why you weren't in JPay. Some dumbass let everyone know this secret, and I just continued with that info until I found this. But I also feel fangirl groupie for it. Totally worth it though. Definitely a rush of feeling that's in a 43 frequency. I feel like I manifested you long before the first time I saw you, which was the day before my birthday, 11/29 last year. It was incredibly stunning, but the heaviest deja vu, but I knew it wasn't. I'm sure your days get boring, lonely, and possibly depressing. I didn't want to write you for any reasons most of the social media interviewers claim they are interviewing you for. Rather, things most wouldn't have already heard a slew of times. What are you allowed to do during the day? It's wild how you're able to have communication devices like that, lol. But I probably assume that there's not social media access. If so, follow me on TikTok, XO Satan's Angel. I'm sure it's not even the slightest weird for you to have all of your mail checked, but I feel I've remained so PG in this entire nuance primarily because it will be combed through and my deep, dark secret of absolute adornment of you will be revealed to you after approval. I love to chat more and learn more of you from you. What I do know so far is that the more I'm continuing to learn about you, I want more. It's 100% the exterior of you combined with the pain you desire to inflict is a combination that is extreme highs on both spectrums, which delivers satisfaction, but not in all senses, that has caused addiction. May or may not make sense, but there's people that have a lot of the same mental disorders you do, but one is hard to see in the other. Wait, sorry, but one is hard to see in other people. I'd probably be insane to even think I'll ever hear from you. If anything, I will send a picture of which is my verified profile picture on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. I don't know if you're able to see my phone number, but all are affiliated with that too. So you can know I am not catfishing. Thanks for giving my FYP a visual orgasm, though. I love it. Sarah, let me know if I am supposed to check the return postage time. I'm not positive with the fact answers if that's for an actual stamp or what. Okay. Oh, sorry. So sensitive. Okay. And then he responds. So wait, that was at 4:30 a.m. Okay, 4:23 a.m. And then he responds that same day at 11:37 a.m. He says, "What's your number? I can call tomorrow. Tell me what you like from me." She said that. She said he said, "What's your number? I'll call you tomorrow," right? Okay. And then she responds at 1:33 that next day. It's really the same day because it's 4:30 a.m., 6:30, and then 1:33 p.m. She says, WW, well, I will list the common answers first. 43 redacted. I forget what that was that I redacted. It might be her phone number again. Yeah. Probably her phone number. Obviously, the first and most reminiscing, snow snatching memory of you was the day of the khaki pants and black dark gray sports coat. And I'm on TikTok just mindlessly scrolling for you. Is that your For You page? And that was what you were wearing in that reel. After a day or two, I made the correlation of deja vu I felt when I saw you as just an attractive, defiant villain based off your mugshot. To now this, I connected dots, becoming fixated. Your demeanor was and is intense. Your stature is absolutely incredible, and you demand to dominate, own the attention of quite literally everyone is executed, done before, done with the perfect amount of looking Scarface and no F's to give. However, you had the layer of cockiness or egotistical self awareness. That's why I bothered with this. This probably the super effed up side of me saying the people who are making reels and social media posts and videos that are not automatically thinking what I do. He's too sexy to be guilty. Um, are weird AF. looking for clout because they want to stand for what is right. And if it were an ugly person that did this, and these people are those that hate how gorgeous and captivating you are. It's so thick. But perhaps that's why I can't hear anything wrong with you when my eyes hear it for me. I have attempted to rewatch the course of events through trial, but I was so hyper focused studying everything in detail I notice about you. I can't really tell you hardly anything happening aside from the second best event, your royal blue suit. I have an excellent vocabulary, yet without learning how you sound to recognize it or to hear it in my head, that doesn't exist. However, you have a way of asphyxiating any to enter my mind is quite enamoring and grips my attention to you. Of course, use the asphyxiating after, how anyway. And I know you're, as I am, a physically self aware and adored individual that craves the extremities of heightened feelings, lust, or adrenaline, but never found the person to counterbalance the feeling to the point it came crashing down. Both are lions, but there's only one king. Always abide. Keep the electricity currents moving the same direction. Uncommon, probably at least most would tell me, but I don't know if they truly believe themselves and don't say it because society says that's how it should be. You are one crazy, go, 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 sexual, intelligent, passionate, violent, borderline personality like me. You are a sociopath and are ingrained with your strong narcissistic tendencies. You lose control when you cannot control. It's not scary if people don't see you as a lion and themselves as sheep. I see you how you see yourself, but I'm a lion too. Only looking at the devil. Always. XXXX question mark 180 clockwise. So then at 8:24 that same night, she writes him again and says, "What time do you think you'll call? I am 1 hour behind. I sent you a picture, but it's still pending review. It's not vulgar nor inappropriate content. I sent it right after I sent the first message. We so have to discuss at the end of your sentencing. So many like conspiracy theorists think you cast some type of witchy spell, lol, or you were cracking your knuckles. One lady said it's because you were tapping your palm with your hand because it fell asleep, regained blood flow. My guess is because the bailiff or officer, one of the two, was probably standing near the chambers and you were making sure you were going to go get your fingerprints done. But that's just me. But looked like you were giving spirit fingers and pointing to the tips. So maybe I'm the idiot. I'm so excited you have no idea. I'm so excited to really hear your voice for the first time this way too, because recordings are played and not always in the context they're spoken. But yeah, yes, it's totally been the item of the weekend that shifted it into overdrive, making it pretty dope holiday. I'm not one who goes to fireworks shows or really even likes to hear all that shit anyway. Plus, there will be kids and parents, people all over the place, and it's just not worth it. I did just get back from Ameristar Casino. I went with 100 and had 20 in free play. I sat at the Buffalo, not sure if you know what I'm talking about, but that's the theme is like you want lots of buffalo. I put $10 of my 20 on the machine. I was doing the 60-cent bet per spin. In the third spin, I went to the bonus round. And eventually, after 127 free bonus rounds, it kicked over the jackpot and they had to they had to hand pay me what I won. She must have won so much, right? Oh, thanks, Soul. Thank you, Toasty, and thank you, Simi, and thank you, Soul. You guys are awesome. Anyway, where are we at? So she went to the bonus round. Eventually, after 127 free bonus rounds, it kicked over the jackpot and they had to hand pay me what I won. So basically, she probably won so much that they hand pay her, right? It was pretty sweet and totally opposite mood of how I normally am when I go. I was just irritated because I forgot I needed gas because I put it off last night. F it, I'll get it tomorrow. So that and traffic made me pissy. So I didn't even want to go in, but I forced myself because I drove all the way there. I'll do the free play and leave. I'm so glad I did. Tomorrow, when you call, I don't know if I gave you my work and personal cell phone, but I always have both, and I'm not going to work until a week from tomorrow because I'm on my vacation. Like my vacation, I've racked up for PTO during the year. She gives him the 2 phone numbers. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay. And then this is the next day at 4:52. She says, "Call me again," because he hadn't called her yet. So all he said basically is, "Hey, what's your number? I'll call you tomorrow." So she leaves him all these long messages. And so then the next day she's like, "Hey, call me." She gives him her number again. And then she says, "Do you need credits or money?" And then he responds then at on so you know what I guess happened? So if you look, so 7-3 says, "Call me." You don't there's no other text. Oh God. For a day. Like there's no more on the first. And then the second, there's nothing. And then on the third, she says, "Do you need credits or money?" So I'm guessing that's probably they talked. I'm guessing on the first and second, they probably talked on the phone. My guess. So hey, phone calls from prison. That's the time frame. I'm thinking they probably made their first call. He probably called her. Um, and then on the fourth, so do you need credits? And on the fourth, he says, "Yes, I would need money." So he says it early in the morning. "Yes, I would need money. Are you able to send to me through my Cash App account? It is Wade Stephen Wilson." And then she says at 9:40 a.m., "How much sent to your Cash App? And should I add money to this too, or just use your for that communication?" And then he says, "You can send 300 to my Cash App. That would be great, babe. And no, don't worry about the email. We should talk right here all the time." So remember, she said she got the $300 request for Cash App. Um, Wade says, when can you talk later over the phone?" And she says, $300. What does that get you? I don't understand this communication system at all. Y'all use so many different platforms and shit costed $1 for a picture. I had to get creative. And the giant one of my face getting approved was gross. It was a giant head. And I can hear soon I'm waiting for Cash App to deposit or debit whatever to verify it's my account I'm using. My ex royally did me a number paying himself through Apple Pay when I thought he was just going through my phone. LOL. Nah. But how about we start a bit lower? I'm sure you have opportunities for more, yeah? And I'm making it work. I have to move some shit around because I don't want this on my discovery. I have to show in my court, in court with my ex. Disclosing my finances with him means any extra fluff I do have will be scrutinized, how it's spent. I'm going to withdraw money from the bank and put that into Cash App by taking that money to Walgreens. Give me real numbers, Poppy. And then she says, "We can talk around lunchtime for you." Yes. So that's Sarah. Sorry, I haven't been saying who they're from. Most of them are from Sarah. He's only responded a couple times because I think he called her. So he had said about the 300. And then, so Sarah says, "We can talk around here. We can talk around lunchtime for you." Yes. And then he says, "Real numbers, question mark. Yeah, that would be like 1,000 then, LOL. Seriously. But no, then I understand what you said now that you have going on. So how about you send 100? That would work out for me, and it allows me to get food and spend time on entertainment on the tablet. You want to talk on the phone around lunchtime? I'm good for it, love." Wait, I want to make sure. Yeah, I got those in the right time. Just making sure I put them in order right. um Okay, so 10:30 she says, "I'll pull out your initial request and have it preloaded when we talk. When we talk terms and conditions apply, but I know some about commissary and vaguely with entertainment. LOL. I won't go on about it, but I'll throw you a 50 for startup. And as I said, I'll have the initial request on my Cash App for the extra credits. Not being difficult, just a precaution. You're so beautiful that it's hard for me to put the cap on like that, but you realize I do know I'm one of a flood of bitches in your DMs. My head isn't that far up my ass. LOL. I found you because of you being slathered all over numerous thirsty accounts. Glad it came on my reel, but you were tossed around out here, P. And then she says, 1,000 biweekly, but that would mean congregate visits, and we'd have to get married. Oh, this is from Sarah. Sorry, I keep forgetting who to say this from. So this is from Sarah. The last one was from Sarah too. Okay. Um, so congregate visits, and we'd have to get married. But it's jail, WTF. Would you buy for so she's like saying, what the heck would you buy for $1,000? I didn't think there was so much to buy. But I know it's not for intending to use with another female, LOL. She can buy her own time, like I did. Mine, just saying. And then he responds, he says, fine, 1,000 biweekly then. So prove that. Go ahead. And in saying that, I'm saying, don't put a cap on me, you, for or us. Let us go all the way then. There's all types of things for me to buy with that. And if you want to do what I want and live like a king that I am, then that's what the money would do for me. We can F at visits in prison, and I'm going to prison in maybe 1 month. If you're serious, then you will be on my list, and it's all for you. And then she responds, we have to F on visits in prison. Okay, I got to get going. Oh my God. I saw you called. I am so sorry. I was busting one out with this talk, and I could not resist after your voice on the phone. I do know I'm putting the massage feature on in my BMW when I go to this, though. LOL. So happy I make the list and I'm not a total uggo. Your ex that testified is super pretty, but the Kelly chick made it definitely doable for me to do this with you right now because I'm older than you by 4 or 5 years. So that's kind of intimidation. But I knew I was fine the way I looked because of her. And she's being dumb on your name, too. So F her. But I got to go do this shit so I can talk to you. Okay, and then she says, extrapolate on said list. I'll be on, LOL. And then he says, you do your part and send what you said. We agree to all terms and being together. How you put that? Being on the visit list when I get to the prison in 1 month means that if I let you come inside with me, that every one of your effing holes is getting filled up with big C word. If it's real, show me. And I don't have any problem holding my side, especially with what I see you look like, naked as F. And then he says from Wade to Sarah says, visit in prison both Saturday and Sunday. Only one person can come on each day. I guess you see how it could go then. And then she responds, so I had to get my habit and that back in stock for the month. It gets methy, you know? I hate it sometimes. I'm almost done here, then going to load Cash App, but I'm in KC, baby. Yep, we know you're in KC. And then he says, yeah, I know how it is, though. So this is from Wade. Yeah, I know how it. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I know how it is, though. We share the same style. When you effing come to see me and get this effing C word, you're going to bring your habit with you for me inside of your little pee purse. Remember, that's another thing that she said that he said. Make that a little bit bigger. Okay. Oh, shoot. That's right. It doesn't let me go in between. Sorry. Hopefully that's big enough you guys could read it. Anyway. So yeah, bring your habit for me inside of your little peepers. I will need that. Okay, load your CA and take care of me. But don't do that cap BS. Do what you were talking about. It doesn't matter if you're in KC or if you're in Europe. I'm putting you down and you're coming to F and have me. Hold on. It's hard because it's bounces. I want to make sure I read it all. Hold on. I can't get it. Here, this one. Okay. I guess that's the end of it. You have me. Okay, so that's 121. Okay, here we go. So 139, she says, yes, All of what you said is going to happen. You wish that you had met me before anything had transpired because you probably would have had the fix from just that you can act out Olive. Those control methods and ways that you have the need of physically expressing and reassuring yourself that you have the power over me physically, mentally, financially, emotionally, that I act as you say, being under complete control and told what to do, when to do it, especially during the most sexual times. Blood is necessary. Taste, smell, see. Sorry, my friend, is about 30 miles from me, and I'm about halfway back. So within the next 30 minutes, are you still able to call me? And I will just load your account. So that was from her. So she's saying blood is necessary for sexual times. Let's see what he says. He says, "You load my account as you need to already have done, and that's when I'm calling your phone. So hurry up because we need to talk now. There will be blood dripping from your effing holes." Which you might remember what she said on the interview. "There'll be blood dripping from your effing holes, and I'm drinking it. 26 days till I get to prison. Make it effing count. You are my bitch, so act right." Um, Okay, so that's 1:49 p.m. And then she says, "Yes, I am. I deposited the money and it's not on my app. I don't know what's wrong." Remember, she said that there was an issue when on the interview with the Cash App, or you heard her just explain it, how it just like something wasn't right, and they caught on to it being like a scam account right away. When she tried to do it, it like didn't let her. Which I and my opinion, because Jesse ends up telling him, like, she never sent anything. So my opinion, this is just my opinion, I'm thinking she's saying it, she just wanted to tell him she did it, but not really do it, and then just lie and be like, "Oh, I did it, but it just something happened." So then he thought she was really trying, I'm thinking, because Jesse doesn't say like, "Oh, your account got shut down," or anything. She just said Sarah never freaking sent anything. So that's what I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe there are glitches, so maybe she tried and it didn't work. But we heard that she did try on the interview, and you could see, look, what's wrong? It didn't happen. Okay. And then she says dump. I don't understand what that is, but what does that mean, dump? I mean, in context, like, I don't know. And then she says, "I'll be with you every chance you want." See right here. I kept this at it right here, this part, and this was from Jesse. And it says, "Baby Sarah's Cash App failed. I think she might not have the money to send." So it never came through. And she even said it on the interview, it didn't go through. And then Sarah says, "Call me." And then she says, "Can you call me? There's something up with your Cash App because it thinks it's a scam." Remember what she said on the interview? "They think it's a scam. Right when I did it, they must know your account's a scam. I can load the phone number and send you money through your commissary." So right there, those last few messages right on our interview. "Baby, I'm trying to send it. Will you send a request for 50? My card is saying it's a scam and it won't let me send you anything. Please request 50, baby. 50, please, baby." Okay. And then she says, "Transferring you credits too, babe." So she transfers him his credits and then sends asking him to send the $50 request. And then she says, "I keep trying to send you a pic of the Cash App response to my 7 attempts to send money, and all have been canceled and returned by Cash App, stating it's a scam. Call me under the phone you did this morning, or call me under the phone you did this morning, and I can add money to that, or maybe GTL." And she says, "I'm on GTL. I can add you money. There will be, or I can add you money there. Will that work, baby? Talk to me." And then she says, "I added 50 to GTL. I don't know what it was. It just said advanced pay with a recurring deposit. So I just did it there. 50 sent to your Connect network thing. I said I could only load 5 to 50 at a time. So I just sent 50. But if, of course, you've decided to ignore me. So now it's like he hasn't responded in the last few messages. So I think she's like trying to like get him to respond, like, look, I just sent you money. I just sent you money. Respond. Okay. And then she says, baby, call me back. This is 4th of July. And then she says, I sent you a picture of the Cash App reason it won't let me pay you, even a $5 request you sent. Remember? She said the $5 request she had him sent to test it out. It's like there's like specific things that, come on. I know you guys already believe it is, but I'm just like pointing out some of the things that she said. It can't be that big of a coincidence. Or, I mean, like I said, it would have had to been somebody hacking her account anyway. So that's highly unlikely. Okay. I sent you a picture of the Cash App reason it won't let me pay you. Even $5 request you sent was refunded. Baby, I tried, but you hung up on me. You must think I'm super uggo. FR, maybe for real, for real. Just want the shash, shash ass. I don't know. And you are getting off the row. In fact, the judge won't put you on there. You got too many loose screws for that anyway. Like, we haven't secured down the time slots. Every time you're going to lay me down and slide in my slots. And you're like 13 inches taller than me. I'm so in love with it. I want you to watch it go inside me and in my kidneys. So these are the new ones that I have not read yet. Some of the ones that like I didn't read like in depth, like the ones. So basically these are the ones that I have not read. The ones that, so I read the other ones whenever, and then I read the ones last live, and these are the new ones we're starting here. Okay. So let's see. Oh, I'm so in love with it. I want you to watch it go inside me and in my kidneys. You'll be shook not understanding how tight it is and why you feel so good. But I need you to hurt me when you do this so bad. Asphyxiation is necessary until I tap out or actually pass out. Like, hit me from behind and have the belt through the buckle, but use it without the hole and pull it on the tail of the looped belt around my neck until you can't tighten it anymore and fill me up. And I want to bust all over your big D word and you to fill my P word up and watch it drip. The envy I still have over those mediocre victims, Vickies. Choking is the best part of it. You're in total control of my body and what I do and when I do it and how you make me do it. I want your C word so far down my throat, I feel it touching my esophagus, nearing the back of my skull, like it's going to bust out of the back of my head. And your face is so beautiful, it'd be divine to see that between my legs, always. XXXX. Okay. And he responds. He don't even respond to that. He just says, create a PayPal account to find out what's possible to be sent there. Should be zero issues. My PayPal name is Wade Stephen Wilson. He just wants her money. He's not even caring what she just said. It seems like it. Let's see. And then she says, yeah, I can't do shit with PayPal. I already was on it. My ex used mine because he didn't have one. And I mean, we're married. So it's like, I didn't really see the issue with this. And what happened isn't his fault, but he sold something on the internet on eBay. And I couldn't tell you WTF it was, but I know PayPal was the payment method to use. Was the payment method to use was because this was a purchase made by someone in some chink country like Asian. Anyway, he sent the shit to them. They reported it to PayPal as a scam and not only kept what they received, but also got the funds reversed. And I wish I knew what they said because they gave them the refund and never gave a shit to see if we got our shit back. Or anything. but my social is flagged. I'm looking at it saying I have restricted and account, and if I want more info to call customer service. I even tried to see if I could swing Venmo and it being subsidiary of PayPal, but yeah, good luck PayPal. I had trouble with PayPal. I mean, just to say, do you remember? I didn't even do crap. They wouldn't even tell me anything. Wouldn't even freaking that made me so mad. They wouldn't tell me any like why they like banned my account. They wouldn't even tell me. It's like, you can't even tell me? I've been like a customer or whatever of PayPal for years, and you can't even tell me? I was so mad. So PayPal doesn't have very good customer service at all is my point. Anyway, so yeah, and then she says, "But." And then she says, "I do have some personal checks, payroll checks, and the company checks for goods and services. The reasons are valuable is great as the restaurant is still very much thriving and open. I just sold my shares in the divorce, but the accounts may have some monies if you want to call me to get a better idea of what I mean, as well as where I can mail them myself. Or, I mean, maybe the numbers across the bottoms work? LMAFAO. Oh. And then she says, I sent you a picture that was somehow super zoomed in. It's literally of my outfit when I was taking pole dancing as my fun personal trainer session each week. But it uploaded on my phone to like poster size because it's like 3 long scrolls down or up depending on where it is, but you can't even see it within a frame. Sorry, and I still had my house arrest bracelet on. By the way, where did you see me naked? LOL. I didn't think I could send that shit considering the rules. So I kept it PG-13 so I wouldn't be like removed or whatever. But I guess the bathing suit pics are close to naked, haha. Not as close to it when you take all my clothes off with your teeth and tongue, then tie me down, make me choke on you look my as I look, ma, no hands tied behind my back. And you slam in the back of my head on your big hard C word. I want to taste it. I can't wait until you rip me open and stretch me out. Make me fit you like it was made just to fit you and F your big hard D word. I want to bust all over it and you have to all over me and in me and mark up your territory, baby. Pink slips and titles. I'll make sure I bring both for you so you drive this pony like the owner. And then she says, Poppy, I want to have these mommy issues. Wait. Poppy, I want you to have these mommy issues so soon. So when I see you, I want you to taste me, crave me. When you make me bleed, I want you to taste it with me. I want to F around with you so hard. You're going to F around with a brand new bitch. F her until my legs both twitch, and I'll put your hands around my throat and tell you to squeeze that shit. And when you bite me, I want you to like it. I want you to like it. It's your first bite of a big juicy peach and sink in your teeth. Oh, hold on. I want you to, okay, I get it. And when you bite me, I want you to, like it's your first bite of a big juicy peach and sink your teeth. Scratch me, grab me, pull me, throw me, bounce me, eat me. Now, Poppy, loca en la cabeza, muchas. Crazy in the head. She just put that says crazy in the head. Um, or very crazy in the head or whatever. Okay. And then she says, why are all the pics I sent still pending? It's like 3 days now. Super weird. You notice he hasn't really responded. The most he's responded is about the money. So what I think happens is she just gives up because he stops responding. Because she said on the interview, she said it was the blood, the comment he said, I want to make you bleed from all your holes, that kind of that, and then seeing the autopsy pictures. But she said that conversation kind of turned her off. But she started the blood conversation and then she continued. I mean, she continued these conversations. So I don't think that's what it turned her off. In my opinion, it looks like he just wasn't really responding to her stuff that much. But I want to hear the cause because that'll be really telling. Anyway, so Sarah says, so the first video I saw of you immediately commented I immediately commented, "Damn, that bulge when he comes out. Oh my god, why does he have to be so lethal? Because I can't lie. I was jealous of Rihanna. I was jealous of Rihanna's devil horns Chris Breezy gave, but if he won't, me, but if he won't question mark me, I let WW Wade Wilson hit it. That comment was removed for violating some kind of community guideline." LOL, but there was a bunch of different comments. I posted on videos about you that have all pretty much been removed. I just noticed on TikTok. Oh shoot. And then so this is still from her. So that's on July 7th, 6:16 a.m. She says, "So there's this video that surfaced of your trial. There's these fat Harley Quinn inspired heifers in the first row, rainbow hair. Both looked non-binary as F, and the skinnier one, possibly a dude, because with that beak hanging out the top of their mask and the Adam's apple hanging out at the bottom, it just looking like Penny on a time scale. Why would wait a minute. Wasn't she just saying something like that? So I think she's talking about Allie, right? Alexis is one of them because the rainbow here, right? At your trial? She probably is because I know I mean, who knows? Sounds like it because not that I'm not saying that because that sounds like Alexis or Allie or whatever, but it's because I mean, we know she doesn't like her, and it sounds like probably something she would say about her, maybe. And she was at the trial and did have the red hair. Anyway, so let's read this here. Oh, yeah. It is. So anyway, so Adam's apple hanging out the bottom, a just looking like Penny on a time scale equals D anyway. There's a claim that has the words Wade's fiance or Wade Wilson fiance. Does she have that? Is that wait, what does it say on her? Doesn't she have doesn't Allie have a Alexis have a tattoo on her hand of Wade? Is that what it says? Or on a wrist or something. Anyway, I didn't really notice these people at all until then, as they look like they just waddled in there after their gay parade they went to. But like I told you, I would tell you how shit is, but life's too short. Nobody makes it out alive. I'm 35, and if I wanted to be married, I'd have done that shit 15 years ago, but I didn't want that. But my point is, what that you say you want me to come see you, which is cool, but don't say that just because it's what you feel is necessary to get money. I feel bad for you. I know I'm definitely not the normal and level-headed bitch, especially for saying that I don't feel like the intense feelings. It's lust, not love, as big of a difference as happy and sad for you. Even if I met you in person as I do in this current moment, meaning it's most definitely because there's a major dark and dangerous side to you that is remarkably terrifying, but so satisfying. You're the perfect recipe of toxicity that would suck me all the way down to death row injection day with you if it were possible. And that is 100% how I feel today. But like you, I require lots of dramatic chaos to survive. Risk rules. How I feel changes just as often as it does for you. So while you're effing beautiful and everything about you is the male version of me that got caught, question mark. Whoa, think about what that means. Huh. That appeals to every sensory ability we have. I could probably tell you about shit you didn't even know you or realize about you. But I'm not trying to be stage 5 with this. But if the conjugal visits are just spoken up my ads for money, wait, hold on. Stage 5 with this. But if the conjugal visits are just spoken up my ads for money, Hun, talk is so cheap. You'd get money much easier ways. And you need to take notes because you slipped up on mixing up convo with probably Megan or Shannon's convo. But mommy issues will hinder your thoughts some days. And one day I know you'll wake up. This and everything else will click. And just open your eyes. Where am I? Shoot. I just lost where I was. Just open your eyes and what you thought was how you felt and how your life was. It'll be like happy and sad different. I know because you're on a manic episode right now. It's probably utterly euphoric. Nonetheless, you're still everything I'd ever want in a bad boy convict with violent tendencies. You literally couldn't be any more of that. But you need to sharpen your skills on how to make every play independent game of its own and win each game individually. But the W's boost your reputation. You let the bitches talk. You let the bitches all talk and shit and discover one another's is hilarious. But you let the bitches all talk and shit and discover one another is hilarious right now. But anyway, I do what you could on looking up some of these hoes. They are in the DM because oof, some got caught out for catfishing last night. And damn, man, I don't know if you know who some of these bitches really are. Because damn, don't piss on my back anymore and tell me it's rain. Just piss on me. Mm. Okay, so this, I wanted to include this in here because they're talking about Sarah. So they're talking about her. So Robin talks about her and then another person does. So Sarah is this is her right here too. I35X times 3. So when you see that, that's Sarah. And then also sometimes um they'll say Sarah. I think Andrea actually says Sarah. So it says, LOL, Wade, you got these girls mad. I'm going to copy and paste comments I see on this video of your fiance girl with the colored hair in court. Bet she's paying for him to call me and for all the $1 per incoming and outgoing emails pics we send through the day. Shit costs at least 20 a day. She needs to keep her wishes and make a wish foundation. At Megan is you actually talk to him. This is Sarah. Yeah, we have message through correctional facility platform. So she's just copy and pasting these messages. So remember this one right here. Oh, see this. Oh my God. So this right here is her username for the system, her public name for or whatever at one or at I35X3. So that's Sarah. Okay. I know I just said it, but I just want to make sure you guys understood. So she's quoting what these people are saying. So Megan says, you actually talk to him. Then Sarah says, yeah, we have messaged through the correctional facility platform, similar to email. And he's called me several times. It hangs up after 15, but he calls right back. Right there, she's saying he called her several times. Wait, okay. Megan says, damn, yeah, I'm going to have to see what's up with that. Not going to lie, I'm not surprised though. And Sarah says, yeah, or just take the info and keep it in your pocket. Calling him out might make him distant. Pay attention when he communicates patterns. And then DM me says, or no, then she says, DM me. And then Sarah says, but it's all up to you. Oh, both of those were Sarah. So she says, pay attention when he communicates patterns, but it's all up to you. I mean, I paid $5 for the first emails. Since then, he just has me COD them. Said he's got like 3,200 in credits for them. So it's more than just you and me, too. Ha ha. And then Leah says, have you talked recently? Then she posted screenshots of your conversation. So that's kind of interesting seeing what some of the people, well, seeing what she was saying to these other girls. Oh, thanks, Sapphira. Oh, Tasha, wait, I missed some. Oh, 3 months. Thank you, Tasha. I appreciate it. And thank you, Saphira. Thank you. Okay. I'm on mute. I'm on mute. Wow. How long? Dang it. How long have I been on mute? I'm sorry. I want to see how long I've been on mute. Shoot, man. Hold on. Let me see. Because I don't know where to restart. Gosh darn it. I hate when I do that. I hate it so bad. Hold on. Few minutes. Okay. So where should I start again? So, okay, what I was saying, hold on a second. I see where I left off. I just left off right here. Oh, so, but what I was gonna say though is what I think is I think this is why I think Wade stops talking to her because of this. So he has Robin telling him about Sarah talking crap, and then he has Andrea too. And I think Jesse. They all are like telling him like Sarah, she's maybe lying or whatever. So he has three different people like basically not telling him some not so good things about Sarah. So I think he just stops talking to her. I don't know for sure, but you'll see like he just stops kind of responding. And I think she just stops then. So like I said, remember this one's Sarah. So I'll read it again. So Robin's telling Wade that saying, then she posted screenshots of your conversation, which I reported so people can't compare. I'm sure she's meant can compare. So then Sarah says, well, I hope his fiance that he doesn't know about sees his thread. She shouldn't have been so sure that she was the only one trying to be his only one. Lit remake of Charles Manson. He had fans though. And then Monica says, I don't want to talk here anymore, but people, I see that he is hiding more than I thought from you all. And another person says, the Bob colored one is Wade's fiance. And then somebody else says, is she trying to be Harley Quinn? And then somebody else says, bahaha, probably she ain't trying. It will never be her. Sorry, you guys. I only redacted if they had like a last name in it because I don't know, it's just like random Wade wives that none of them I really like recognized that are like the big ones that everybody knows of. And somebody says, I think her name is Christine, believe it or not. And then Sarah says, honestly, does it matter, LMAO? They both yuck as F. Wade, you're such a player. Hope you're at least making some money from it. You got these females mad AF. So that's Robin saying that. Robin's like showing them what they're saying and is like, man, you got these females mad. But the video that this is linked to is the girl sitting in court with the colorful hair and one with red hair with the mask. Person who posted it said it was confirmed this is your fiance. They did their homework to confirm this is true. You might want to tell your girlfriend to shut up and keep shit to herself. She's got to be talking to randoms. Big mouth bitch shaking my head. Choose your women better, Wade. LOL. Just kidding. Or just no. Or wait. Just kidding. Yeah, I guess. What I know so far, hon, love ya. And then Andrea tells him now. So now she's talking about Sarah. So she says, yeah, this ain't for me. You literally have two chicks that this last Friday you'd call for 15, then it would hang up, but you call right back. And one specifically said, and this is Sarah, says, oh girl, you needed to go into this well aware of that. But I am 5 years older, so I know his games. But Friday when he wanted to get married, I was like, you're the sneaky link. Bro says that to everyone. Friday? Seriously? I effing day you were ignoring me, Wade? She didn't say it to me, but to someone else who said y'all met. Oh, so now that's Andrea saying Friday, really? You're and it's like, "That's the day you were ignoring me," Andrea's saying, "Wait, that's the day you were ignoring me." She didn't say it to me, but to someone else who said you all messaging, and it was costing her $1 each time to send you pictures you wanted. What sucks more is for a second, I believed everything you told me, and it makes me sick now. I effing did things over the phone I don't do with anyone else. Like, what the F, Wade? You were so manipulative, and I swear I was trying to catch the signs. But every time we talked, you sounded more and more sincere. I don't know why you couldn't just be honest and tell you to just be a friend. I hate that I ever messaged you. I hate it. You're not who I pegged you out to be. And that's my own stupidity. We have no other reason to communicate. I'm sorry you're going through what you are, but I hope the company and visits from them other females. Wait, I hope all the company and visits from the other females help you get by these next 40 years or so. You broke my effing heart. And then this Natalie person talks about Sarah. She says, just so you know, there's a girl by the name of Sarah posting y'all's convos online, and a lot of people are seeing it. And that's it, guys. That's all. At least in the 900. Now, actually, I guess I can't say. I really can't say that's all, because now that I'm thinking about it, let me see. Hold on. Let me see what dates that I got to. Hold on. Because it's like, what if there's still a little bit of a time? Remember, I got the last 1,000 pages that went back, I think, mid-July. This goes to, hold on, let me see how far this goes up. The 900 pages goes to, because I forget what dates I requested. This goes to the 12th. So yeah, chances are the last message we see from her, I think, is the 7th and 8th or 8th from Sarah. So 4 days, there's nothing. Let me see what date it was. Hold on, the 7th. So that's the last one. So 8th, nothing, 9th, 10th, 11th. So 5 days, there's nothing. So that's why I was guessing this was the last. But I think if I go back, hold on, let me see what days that there's only a few days in July that I don't have. Just give me 1 second. I just want to see. Kiosk messages, July. Well, no, I guess there would be July 26th. So when I got when I ordered the last 1,000 pages, remember the first batch of messages I got, I said, I want the last 1,000 pages of messages with Wade. And it went back from, August up till he got transferred. From the day he got transferred back, the last 1,000 pages, it went back to the July 26th. So I'm still missing a couple weeks in July. So, I mean, I guess, but why would she not respond for 5 days and then respond? I think this is the end. I bet you this is all, because we know that she stopped talking to him. She didn't talk to him very long, because by the time she was going on telling everybody she was done talking to him. So could be wrong, but I just think he doesn't, did you notice he doesn't really respond to any of that? So either he does, like, all the stuff that she was talking about him doing to her. So he either does in the phone calls, which I do hope we get to hear, but I don't know. Or if not, he just sees all these people saying, be careful, basically, like, don't trust her, or like, be careful, she's sharing all your stuff. And remember, even in the interview with Sarah, she says that anybody that was sharing his messages back then, he he just cut off, because if they shared his messages, he cut off. So he's been told by 3 different people that she was sharing his messages. He probably cut her off. So my point is it does not look like she stopped talking to him because of what she said. It looks like he's cut her off. That's what it looks like to me. So that's that, guys. What do you guys think? I know, Angela, I was. I was. Yeah, Jojo, I know she said that, but it doesn't mean do you understand? Doesn't mean that let's say, like, sometimes she goes by without a H, it does not mean on here that she can't have an H. Um, she said that, but then I went back to the messages that she admitted that were her, the first batch, it's with an H. She gives her phone number, she gives her whole name, every her where her location, everything is in them. It's with an H, and she admitted it was her with an H. The same spelling throughout the whole thing. So my point is she's saying it's oh, it's not with an H. Well, it is. The way she put it on these messages that she admitted was her is with an H. It's right here. I don't know. I mean, I guess you know what? You guys could decide. I don't know. It's showing it's her. If you guys could use your own judgment. It's the same person that she admitted was her at the first batch. She admitted it was her. It's that same account. In the first batch, like I said, it has her full name, it has her phone number that I did a background search that all matches. It has her location, some of the details. So I mean, she could have put it with an H and then sometimes she doesn't use an H. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But this is consistent across all these messages. It's the same account. It's with an H. So I mean, you guys, whatever you guys could decide. That's why I wanted to play you the interview and then play it and then you decide. I just gave you my opinion. I like from everything I found, it all matches, but you guys could decide what you want to believe for real. I mean, if you don't, if you, you know, want to think it's not, that's fine. But I gave you what you need to see to decide. And oh, thanks, Sarah. Deep dive queen. Oh, thank you. Pop zavgirl pop socket. Oh, cool. That's a good deal right there. Draw you a custom t-shirt and pop socket. Oh, thanks. That's sweet. Um, yeah, it's like this. But this pop socket is actually engraved into my phone, but they have the ones you could like put on because you made me that oh, my mom that she yeah, like I got you sent me some. But yeah, I love these. Like this is actually comes with the case of my phone, but like it's so helpful. Like I never had one until I got this case for this phone and I'm always like people have and I'm like what is the appeal to this? I know like I learned there is an appeal is because it helps you hold your phone. It's not like for a look or anything, it's to help you, like, hold it, like, now like, if I don't have it, I don't know what I would do because it's like you're texting and you got a good grip, and it helps. Anyway, yeah. Hey, left-handed. Are you left-handed? I am. Thanks, Carrie. Oh my god, I saw Carl for a minute, like the letters. Carrie, sorry. That's why I said it like that. Thank you. There's definitely that. So, okay, you guys, I kind of like am energized to do another live or to continue. So what I was gonna do is I could either um do like a different live where I do let me take a sip of this. Hold on. I could do we could do like uh Idaho or watch some like random Idaho stuff, videos um that they were talking about and then maybe what was the other one? Maybe even Karen Reed. I started watching the that like series last night. with Sarah. We started watching on Amazon. What's on Discovery? I didn't watch the trial the first time on Karen Reed. I do know like a lot of the stuff, like not a lot. I guess not a lot. You guys probably know way more if you're following it, but I want to get knowledgeable on it. But I do know some of the stuff, like the injuries and the basics of what happened or whatever. And I do think she's innocent. I do not think she's guilty. But I didn't watch the trial, so I think I might watch the trial this time around. Um, I'm only on I watched episode 1, episode 2, I fell asleep, but then yeah, I think I'm only on episode 2, but it's really good. I'm gonna try to I don't know if I'll stream the trial because I guarantee so many people are gonna be streaming it, but I am gonna try to watch it because that case is pretty interesting. I think I only did like 1 or 2 videos on it, like, 2 years ago, maybe. Um, Going over it was before the trial started. But anyway, I could do a live on that, just like we could watch, like, random, like, news clips or court hearings on those 2, Idaho, because there's that Idaho one that I wanna get your take on about, uh, the hearing. Oh my god, like, about the 7 minutes or whatever. So I didn't read that whole document in depth, but now it makes me wanna go into it and really, unless if there was another document about, like, the white car, the one not being his or whatever. I don't know, it makes me wanna look into that a little bit. It's very interesting. What do you guys think? Or the other option is I could, continue the rest, like, the kiosk messages that now the only thing with those is it's 900 pages, so it would be so much work, the to and froms, to like try to screenshot all the 900 pages of one side to the other and then match up times. Like it's almost not even worth all that trouble. So in that big chunk where it does them separately, I would probably have to do it the way I was doing it the other night because just kind of going back and forth a little bit. Because otherwise, it's just, I don't, with 900 pages to try to like separate it into the way they have it, it's just, I don't feel like it's even going to be worth the time that it would take to do that. But I do have some of them pulled out individually. So I have Alexis's I have to put together that'll be like, I'll just do them separate like I did Sarah's. I have Alexandra's already screenshot and pulled out. So I've done a lot. When I did Sarah's, I did Alexis's and Alexandra's too. And if there's anybody else's interesting, I could pull them out and do them separately. But no, I can't do them all. Like take them all out. And anyway, I'm probably confusing you guys. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Camille's? Okay, there's a lot of Camille's. Yeah, who else? Maybe Alexandra had a lot, and I was like, maybe should I even have done Alexandra's pulled out? Oh, thanks, Sarah. Dude, there might only be one. Oh, thanks, Angie. I should have done the goal too. I could have done that for a goal. Maybe I should put it for a goal, Sarah, on the next one. Griselda. No, there is no Griseldas though. Oh, is Griselda in the chat? I'm confused. So what do you guys want to do? Because it's still early and do you want to do um Idaho and Karen Reed, or do you want to do messages? Oh, wait a minute, guys. Did you see that new interview with the Benji? I watched that yesterday. That the Cellmate. Did you guys see that or no? That was kind of interesting. I There's some things that didn't really make sense with it though. Like some of the things it was like, wait a minute, because and I'll point it out, which is just like, ah, you haven't seen it? I don't want to play it all because it's his interview, but we could play parts of it. Oh, thanks, Tina. Yeah, because like I forget there was the one with the well maybe we should watch it and I could point it out because there was like two or three things that just didn't make sense with his story. It was like, wait a minute. Okay. Let me see. Let me find it. Because now I think it has been a few days. So he's the one that did he's the one that did the interview with Kelly and he did the interview with his other cellmate. So if you guys okay, do you remember Wade's other cellmate and he has the other guy that has like the same tattoos on his mouth, like the Joker stuff or whatever? Um he came out and he said that how Wade had those pictures of the victims hanging up in his cell because it is kind of important if you saw his too. So Benji interviewed him and he went on to say that I forget what his name was. I have a picture. I had mug shots of him too. I can see if I find him. So he does an interview with him. This was like months ago. Now he does this interview with this guy, which this guy kind of corroborates some of the stuff that guy said in a way. Um, and then about like the victims, and it does make sense that I know at first I was like, how would he have the picture? But then we realized they would get the discovery and it probably would have the autopsy pictures. He probably, the sick person he is, kept them. He's sick. Wait till you hear what he did. I do believe it, but I do believe he probably did that, but I don't know. I do, but to the degree, I don't know. Let me see. I'll show you. No sound, really? Brandon, that's his name. Thank you. It was Brandon. Yes. Yes, Brandon. Oh, and Shabusiness. That would be another thing that I could do on the other live. We could show the Shabusiness thing in the Idaho and then Karen Reed stuff. That would be a good live, little combination live. All right, hold on one second. Let me bring that up real quick. I wish I knew what file I had all those mug shots of Brandon because now I forget his full name to look him up so I could show you. I guess I could just show you the interview, but all right, hold on. Ta-ta. Yeah, that probably. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through them real quick to see if I can find it. Hold on. Alright. Oh, well. Here, I'll just try to look after I start the interview. Let me go to my history. Okay, here it is. Okay, here we go. So let me share. Okay. Here we go.
So, I went to jail for a burglary charge, and in order to get time reduced off of my sentence, I became a trustee. And where I was housed, they needed workers at a different facility, which is where they had the high risk inmates, such as Wade and more dangerous people. So they moved me over there, and technically my job was laundry. But the floor that laundry was on was also the same floor where they housed all the dangerous inmates. So another job that they gave us was to like whenever food came, we had to feed them, or if they ever needed their clothes washed or new blankets, sheets, whatever, I had to get it for them. And so I talked to Wade on like an almost daily basis. Why I reached out to you, like my girlfriend knows Brandon. And the reason why like I wanted to reach out to you is because like some of the things that he was saying about his personal life like weren't true. The things that he was saying about Wade, however, like they were true, but like there's more to it, as we briefly spoke about. Like he did have the photos on his cell wall, like almost as if he was proud of it. And so one day I had asked to borrow like he had a subscription to a Men's Health magazine. I had asked him if I could borrow one of his magazines to read because I was bored, just you just sit in the laundry room doing nothing all day. So I wanted something to read. So I asked him for some reading material. He gave me this magazine. So I'm flipping through the magazine and I get like halfway through it and there's a bookmark and it's a folded up piece of paper. And I open up this piece of paper and it's the picture of the girl with her chest cavity. It is disgusting.
Wow.
Seem to be using that as a bookmark. Like, obviously, he must be proud of his crimes. Like, that's the only thing I can get from that. Okay, so there was another girl whose body he did it badly. And so in the previous video with Brandon, you had asked him like, how he got the pictures. And it's because of the discovery. They give you the discovery so you can build your case or your defense. And so they give you pictures, and so in the pictures was the autopsies of the girls, and so one of the girls, like her body, like wasn't completely mutilated; it was her naked body, and he would like I didn't know this for the longest time, but like he was having me pass around this envelope from cell to cell, and then like I was giving him canteen from those cells for like whatever was in this envelope. But like one day the curiosity got the better of me and I wanted to know what it was. And so I looked and it was one of the bodies and he was selling it to the other inmates so they could but he wasn't telling them that it was a dead.
Did it look like the dead girl to you?
Not, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell, like, unless you knew what he was in there for. And like, if you really looked at the picture, like, you could tell towards the bottom of her body, like, the blood had kind of like pulled down to the bottom, and it was like darker at the bottom of her.
No.
This is weird because I swear, which I don't blame him for muting out those words. He kind of like puts them lower because of YouTube, probably. But I swear when I watched this the other day, it wasn't. So I wonder if YouTube made him do that. Did you guys have you guys watched this when it was like brand new? Did anybody else basically watch it where it wasn't like that at first? Because I swear it wasn't. I was about to say, is there something wrong with my audio? Which now I see he's doing it purposely because it's probably for YouTube. But I don't think it was like that the other day when I watched it. Huh. Anyway, so yeah, he's talking about Wade, like using. So it would have had to been Christine because obviously you couldn't tell it was a dead body or whatever. So he's using Christine's picture of their body naked to pass around to for other people to use. And nobody, like, he didn't tell them that it was. They just thought it was just they didn't know who it was. Passing around for some soups you'll hear, like for commissary. And then they find out, he said it lasted what, like a few days or a week, whatever he just said. But then they found out it was the person, she wasn't alive. So they stopped doing it. That was cut off. But he was doing that. Can you believe that? So that means he saved this crap, was putting it on the walls. He's using one for a bookmark. And then he's passing one around for people to get off to. Like, what a sick guy. Sick. Yeah. It's sick. I can't even believe that. Like, anybody that still supports him, how can you after this? So that's two people confirming that he does have these pictures. Both of them, I don't think they're both lying. Both of them saying that he had the pictures of the victims. Brandon. So Brandon was this guy. Look, I found his pictures. You guys remember him? Here, I'll go. If you go over, you'll slowly see. He ends up getting the tattoos. So if you guys want to check out his channel, he interviews him first. This was him months ago. And he was his cellmate, or maybe the cell next to him, I think it was, he said. So he knew Wade too. But you'll see he has the same tattoo on his face. Kinda. See? And that's all the pictures I have. His name was Brandon. So that's who he was talking about at the very beginning, where he said he ends up going on to say his girlfriend knows Brandon, and that Brandon was lying about some of the personal stuff he said about his own self, but he was telling the truth about the stuff he said about Wade. I don't know. I guess take it with however you guys, use your own judgment what you think, but yeah, if you want to check it out. I think he did 2 interviews with Kelly too. Didn't he interview her twice? They were pretty good interviews with Kelly.
Like a couple soups, like $2. It was for canteen, not actual money. I would take the picture, give it to whatever cell, get the canteen from that cell and bring it back to him. And then he would give me canteen for doing that.
Did you and Wade ever have any like conversations? Like, what was he like?
To be honest, he seemed like a really cool dude, which is actually fucking terrifying because like he comes across as like really friendly and outgoing, and like once you like think about like what he did and what he's capable, like how he can hide behind that facade, like it just makes you wonder, like how many, I don't know, like how many people on a daily basis you come in contact with that could be like that. Yeah, and in the previous video with Brandon, he had mentioned about how he had groupies or whatever, and that's like 100% true. So like one of the other trustees that worked with me actually was friends with Wade from the street. But like so like he did show my friend his commissary account. He had tens of thousands of dollars in his account from these girls, just seeing him from the news or on the internet. They just put money on his account, and he had so much canteen. So he had probably like a 10 to by 12-foot cell, and just one wall from wall to wall, floor to ceiling, just soups and food just stacked all the way to the top. Like it was.
So this is the one thing that had me think, because I was like, wait a minute, if he had all of that commissary and food, why would he need to sell those pictures of, I'm sure it was Christine, to that for soup? But then I was reading through comments and it clicked. It made me realize, wait a minute, it wasn't about the commissary. It was just about him, almost like probably getting off to the fact that he was having other people get off to like what he did. You know what I'm saying? So it probably wasn't even about the soup. So he wanted to get something because, might as well get something. But it probably was just about the fact that he's a sick freaking jerk and just, you know what I'm saying? Like just the idea. Because then he said he would pay him then. So it's like he probably wasn't making much off of it. So that's one thing. But the other thing that I started thinking about is like, wait a minute, when was he in jail with him? Because I was under the impression that Wade was probably struggling. Like, I don't think he had a lot of commissary until the trial. I could be wrong. And maybe maybe that's when he was in there, is during the trial. But maybe he did have a lot of fans before that. But I don't know why I was thinking the fans didn't come till after the trial. What do you guys think? But like I said, maybe that's when he was in jail with him. I don't know. But man, like to have like a wall of commissary, I would think that didn't come until after the trial. But maybe not, because I do believe that's two people that said he has pictures. I do believe that. I do, but it's just
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, he was doing that, but after a while, like someone had realized that it was a dead body, and then he told all the other inmates on the floor that it was a dead body, and so that came to an end real quick. But for a few weeks there, like that was going on. Okay, so like in the county that I'm from, there's like a downtown jail and then like a county jail. And I believe at first he was at the county jail and he tried to escape from there. And so they moved him to the downtown jail where there's cells that have like no windows and stuff. And then like when he got transferred downtown, that's when I became trustee. That's where I got transferred to, was downtown. So like, yeah.
You said that some of the things that Brandon said about himself were not true. Could you please go into more detail about that?
I mean, like, it's just Brandon's personal life that he was not. I mean, I don't know Brandon. Okay, it was my girl. My girlfriend is the one who knows him personally. I don't want to say her name, so I don't want to start. Do you remember what he was saying about himself? Like, was it true? Like,
did your girlfriend and Brandon date?
No, they didn't date.
Oh,
you know him.
Messy. Spoken me.
Oh, okay. I guess like they only hung out like one time. Like he had hit her up on Facebook and she went to go hang out with him, and what, he was just like really weird. Yeah, really high on meth and stuff.
oh wow.
Yeah, I guess he was like crawling through bushes and I don't know, some kind of crazy stuff. But like I remember during the video, like there are certain things that he said, and she was like, "That's a lie." I like that. The things that he said about Wade, as far as like having the pictures of the girl's heart, like that was all true. He was just bullshitting about himself.
Okay.
I don't know. He was completely isolated. Like after he had that escape attempt, they put him in a cell by himself with no windows. Like he had no contact other than like the COs and then the trustees that fed him up, like me. Yeah, yeah, I did. Actually, that's another reason why I knew how much money he had in there, because like he would ask me or my one friend, to check his messages for him, and like we did that because like he would give us like soups or whatever just to check the messages. Yeah. So I don't like talking about it, but I used to be really bad on benzos, and so I had ran out, and like I was going through withdrawals really bad, and I robbed the pharmacy. Uh, it was after hours when they were closed. Uh, yeah, that's what I was at for.
So how long did you get for that?
Well, I mean, at first they offered me 6 months straight jail time with justification withheld, which I wish I would have took. But at the time, like, so like I ended up doing good. Like I ended up getting my shit together, and then the charge caught up with me later. And so like I had a job and stuff at the time and was doing good. And so instead of taking the jail time, I took probation. And then I ended up violating, and because I violated, they ended up trying to give me a year, which I mean still really isn't bad for what I did. But I told him, I was like, listen, I was like, y'all originally offered me 6 months. I was like, now you're giving me a year. I was like, if you give me 9 months, I'll plead out today. So that's what I did. They were trying to put me back on probation. Like I told them no. Like people don't know this. Like you don't have to take what they're offering you. Like you can ask for whatever you want.
Oh, what ethnicity is she? Is she black? Is she Dominican? What's
Puerto Rican and but I just wanted to make sure like the truth was out there, and like I felt like this is something that people needed to know about, because I feel like once they learn what I've just spoken about in this video, hopefully they're not, as fangirly as they are towards him, because this is not something someone should be proud of. Like you shouldn't use a girl's heart as bookmark, like selling her another dead body, like for people have like
how did you find my channel?
well, Brandon's Facebook, because my girlfriend, she knows. And then I guess he had posted the video, and you know, that's how I seen your video, and that's why I reached out to you, because I just wanted to correct, some of the. Oh, well, first of all, because he was lying about himself, I didn't want, because like if someone's lying about their personal life, like you don't know what else they're gonna lie about. So I just wanted, about the keeping the pictures, that was 100% true.
You said when your girlfriend hung out with Brandon, he was high out of his mind on meth.
Yeah, his high on meth and tried to get her to go through some bushes with him or something. I don't.
You said that you used to be on benzos. Have you ever done meth?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I've done it, but I'm not. I'm not a upper fan. Like I like my weed and benzos. Like I like to be down.
Okay, Nicholas. So thank you so much for being here. Keep your head up. I'm going to post the Cash App. Okay.
Guys, what do you guys think? You believe him? I do. I do. When I heard it back, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, I can't think of anything that one that him not my God, I can't even think what it was now. I can't hold on. Oh, what was it? Dang it. I don't know. Um, hold on. About about the commissary and the fans. Yeah, because I don't know when he was in there. Obviously, it was after the escape. Maybe he did have fans. I mean, we see that he was talking to people. I don't know though if he would have that many where he would have like a wall of commissary, but I don't know. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I am gonna end this, and then I'll probably come back off with another live in a little bit if you want. Um, I feel like, see, since I'm asking, why do I feel like since I'm asking the Wade people, not the Wade people, but I'm asking you guys what you prefer, mostly everybody in here is saying messages, huh? But I wonder, I don't know. I'm still. I might do a poll on my community post and be like, what would you guys want to do tonight? Messages or Karen Reed, Idaho, and Taylor Business combo? All right. And yeah. And then, like I said, I'll see you guys in a little bit then, okay? Yeah, I'll do a poll. Okay, guys. Thanks, Sherilyn. Let me exit out of this. Yeah, go check out Benji though. Like I said, he does have Kelly and that Brandon. It's worth checking out. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye.